Right as you yawn. Look at me.
I know.
Look at that. That's timing. All right. I am live. Kat and I are live. The Cyber Cat Lee and the Cyber Lees, I guess collectively by proxy of that statement, are live. It's not often I get you to join me. What possessed you? Just felt cute might stream.
Yeah, something like that.
Awesome. Well, it's episode 14. I don't intend this to be a super long episode. I'm not streaming to LinkedIn. I don't have any like huge commercial thing that I have a reason to tie those two together. And I'll just kind of go over the stats so far as we sit. I brought Kat with me mainly because she said yes and she always says no. So, like, first off, there's that. If you're here, say hey in the chat. Let me know. It would only be from YouTube. So, that's where I should get that from. I'm not streaming anywhere else, I think. Maybe I'm streaming to my Cyber Matt Lee on Facebook too. I don't remember. Maybe not. I don't remember where I landed. I threw a dart. Didn't know. Kat says
Just
no.
YouTube.
Anyways, short story is where have we been? Let's go over that. I made a post with Kat, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But we're in Birmingham, Alabama. We're now plus 4 more presentations. I'll go over that here in a second. One of those being in Birmingham in person. No more education. I did just finally hear from my new handler through my instructor-led courses, ILCs, that I do at for Pac State Academy, and I will be structuring some of those coming up or scheduling some of those coming up in the third and fourth quarter. So I'm going to have more hours to add there finally, but not right now. This is on the not right now trail. Yeah, I'm just making sure, checking in the barometer of the cat handler pressure there, I suppose. And anyways, 4 more flights last week. For us, that makes 35 total flights this year. 2 more nights in hotel, that puts us at 48. 2 more ride shares, that puts us at 47. I am including taxis, so if anybody's asking, I've gotten this new habit again. Like, it seems like sometimes the taxis are always there, cheaper and more reliable to get you there. Yes or no, maybe, notwithstanding.
Not necessarily cheaper.
Yeah, no. It depends, right? Because that last one was 25, and I think an Uber probably would have been anywhere between 16 and 30, depending on how the multipliers play out. So yeah, maybe you're right on that. No new driving trips, no new dog rescue drives lately.
No.
Although I'm sure you've been getting them, or none lately.
Have not.
Okay, no, good. None right now scheduled, right? No
Nothing
scheduled. Okay. And then one more city that we hadn't been to. Birmingham was a new one for us. I don't know that I've actually flown into Birmingham
prior to this
in my professional career speaking.
No.
Prior to this, yeah, I don't think so. Kat didn't remember or recognize anything. I didn't remember or recognize anything. We can shift this to the much better half there instead of me. Yeah, so anyways, y'all don't need to see me anyways. Kat's much better. But anyways, so and then that's pretty much it. I really enjoyed Birmingham, although it sucks. It's one of those things where I was sick, you were sick. We were getting over it, right? I didn't feel like I was contagious, although possibly, but I don't think so. It was at the end of it. My fever had broken, but it was one of those where like it turned what would have been a 5-day respite at home into a 5-day recovery at home. Yes. Or how many days were we home? Were we even home 5 days? Like, I don't even know. I have to look back here. Hold on. I got the calendar. Yeah. I've always got the calendar up. Yeah, of course. Okay. So last week, we were home before that for, not 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 days. Yeah. But still, what turned what would have been 4 days at home relaxing and recovering into 4 days recovering. Yeah. Like literally sick and not feeling great. And I know why. Someone did tell us that we probably picked it up at a certain conference. I don't like to name names, but so we do know probably where we caught it, and it was probably bout number 8 with the same disease there, if it was the same thing. It's like who counts anymore.
It's a flu.
Yeah, it's a flu at this point. But anyways, so we decided to still go, and it's one of those things where it's like I don't want to let people down, right? Like the reality is that you've seen me drag myself out of bed against even sometimes your best advice. A non-zero number of times to go and make sure you deliver a promise made to somebody months and months in advance, potentially. Especially in this case, it was one of those where it was an end had having an event for their clients and partners and some of their own internal staff. And Emily, and I've met her a good number of times. She's fantastic. It was awesome to see the Southern Charm again. And I missed that I got grits. And I'm even more unhappy that I got back to where I live, which is not in the South, and got grits, and they were horrible. And I'm like, I should have gotten grits when I was in Birmingham. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, so Birmingham, I think I delivered probably maybe a B performance of the presentation I gave by comparison to what I can deliver probably, and you've seen me deliver. So it's like, but I did okay. We got through it. So it was nice. And it's one of those things where, maybe the question I'd ask for somebody is like, how do you, where do you draw the line on letting somebody down versus your own personal well-being? And where is that barometer for you, right? Like from a compass. For me, as a compass, I wouldn't say a moral compass, just a compass of how I direct my life. I value it very highly, right? I try very much not to let people down, even at great personal cost, where possible, right? And I'm blessed enough to have somebody that, tolerates that choice as a constant basis in my life, right? Which brings me to the other point that I wanted to kind of touch up on from the discussion the other day. Is I made a post, and it was in this last calendar week, so I think it qualifies under this vlog. And it was really just kind of predicating that the conferences, or making a conjecture that the conferences and how they treat my spouse are often an indication, in my opinion, of kind of how they're run. Certainly in my own opinion, my own level of frustration, right? And I try to balance, is that just me being frustrated, or is that a reality statement, right? Where I'm just kind of putting that out there. And what it came from was a certain conference. And I don't like to call people out, we're making throw any shade at anybody, but a certain conference that I'm speaking at on behalf of a partner and a personal friend of mine. That we're speaking about something. I won't even say the subject because I don't want to give it away. And this is coming up soon. I won't even say the country, right? So whatever it might be. And they wanted me to pay $3,000. Shut up, Darren. I love you, buddy. A B from you is like an A+ from anyone else. I don't know if that's true, but it certainly was a B in my definition. I don't like that kind of stuff anyways, but yeah, so man, you throw me all off my train of thought there. Hey buddy, I miss you. It's good to see you. And it was good to see you last Tuesday as well. I got to see Darren, I think, in the back of his RV while talking on Ken Patterson's show. That was call, the one that was the catharsis during COVID in the early days. But anyways, back on the point was that they wanted me to spend $3,500, not my partner, right? The partner that I'm speaking with, my friend, but the conference. I registered with my code and Kat's code, and the conference sent me an email and said, hey, we're going to be rejecting Kat's. This is only for the speakers. And I said, okay, cool. How would my wife attend? Is there a guest pass or something? Even RSA, who has a policy that's very much against spouse getting a free pass, they give you a discount off of a social pass, and they give you a guest pass to let you come and attend your spouse's speaking in session or friends' sessions, right? In that case, a guest pass. So they have a path to accommodate this. But this conference not only didn't have a path to accommodate this, but the price was something like I've spent $500 to have Kat be at a conference, or $600 for Kat to be at a conference, or $349 for Kat to be at a conference. Like I still don't like that, but I've done that. But for me to spend $3,500 or so on this conference for her to attend, just like, man, not only does it pass, but then I'm disincentivized to come and spend time at the rest of the conference. Right now, I'm just coming in to speak, and then I'm done. I'm flying back out. But it's like 6 days. I mean, I could be there and interacting and sharing my knowledge of the SMB space and MSP space and to this kind of field. I don't want to, again, give it away, but could have this crossover value that's really maybe valuable to someone, and certainly would be valuable to me. So I understand this trait of value in that regard. But, for me to ask one thing of saying, you mind if my spouse comes and can we cover that? It's anyways, but the post was, I don't want to say well received, because that wasn't my intention. The post was bantered about in a lot of ways of the challenges on both sides, but also like generally favored an understanding of it's the ability to have a mission, but have flexibility to understand where there are other ways that people need, for you to understand them to serve that mission, right? And that's what I like the most. I don't know, what was your favorite comment out of the whole the whole post?
I don't know. I haven't read all of them.
It was a lot of them, that is
There's a
for
lot.
sure. But there, most of them were mostly supportive of Kat, and Kat's the more
Yes.
famous one, and Kat should be welcomed. And I think Jason went on to say, like, she doesn't eat much, like volumetrically. She's a fairly inexpensive human to be involved in your conference for that.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was fun. Let's see, what else did I get into last week? I did enjoy going to Top Golf, although at that point I didn't realize how tired I still was from being sick, and like I didn't even want to swing a golf club. Like it was literally just like, am I done? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go. And so we walked back. We did walked back to the hotel.
That was hot,
bro. Birmingham heat is no joke. That was for sure hot. Yeah, it was for sure hot. So we walked back to the hotel, did the game, live streamed the game from the hotel with Dom, talking about CTFs, announced that we are going to have a capture the flag at Beyond. Also, that Jason Slagle is helping out with the CTF, and that some of the challenges are just amazing, and that you're already in a group trying to cheat. I didn't mention that part. Did I say that part?
I'm not.
Let's call it loosely trying to see what hacker methodologies one could encompass to win.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even though you can't win a prize.
I can't win. I know. That's fine.
But you just want to win.
I just want to see how many points I can get.
It's like a bubbles to bubbles to bubbles to bubbles kind of thing. Okay. All right. Fair. Cool. No doubt. That's cool. Then fair enough. Yeah. So we have a CTF coming up. I'm super excited about it. I'm more excited to actually start building it. I think we've only got 15 or so challenges right now of the hundreds that we'll probably do. Although we have some really cool stuff, like maybe some NFC. If you're listening to this and you are coming to Beyond and you do want to do this, you might want to have NFC tools loaded potentially. You might want to have some domain enumeration skills. If you were wise, you might have either a Kali box or a Parrot box or a Ubuntu or Debian. I don't care. Pick a Linux flavor if you want to. Perspective. So if you want to participate and win, there's some dope prizes coming. I do know what they are now. I'm super excited about them. It reminds me I need to deal with something else. One of those prizes I hadn't thought about, but that's fine. And let's see what else was there. Super proud of like the GTIA Trustmark working group. There's a group of people, Don Sizer, I think runs it, but that is trying to just literally work every week with a bunch of MSPs to work their way through the Trustmark. I get to, as she says, like a seagull blank and then leave on them every now and again, which is great. I don't know if that's meant to be a positive connotation or a negative connotation. It's just a connotation. It's like being whelmed, I suppose. Hey, Bubba, you up here? How are you, sir? It's good to see you. I didn't know we were gonna have doggos, whole family crew in this one. This is the family episode, y'all. I'm at home. Like we're at family episode. We can get into some fun stuff. We can also play a What's in Matt's Studio. I think we can do at least one episode of What's in Matt's Studio. I have enough rope to get over here a little bit. It's gonna kill my man over there though, probably. Okay, fine. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start with this one. So this is the helmet I had on when I got my last concussion. As you can see, that was not.
I wasn't there.
That was not there before that event, nor were any of these pock marks or scratch marks or dents or divots on the back. That was all one good contiguous roll. That was a wallop right there at the back of the brainstem.
That's where you got cut me.
That's where I got this. Yeah, that's where I picked this one up. That was last year sometime, or not even a year ago. It's about this time last year. So I keep that one around because it reminds me to wear a helmet. It's nice to not have a concussion that makes me unable to speak, I suppose. And speaking is a lot of what I do for a living. But yeah, back to the GTI thing. Great to see them working on that. What else haven't I not covered? I'm super excited about Beyond. I know I said the Beyond CTF, but yeah, go.
Yeah, that and the Bike to the Bay.
Bike to the Bay is coming up.
It's coming up.
Donate to Kat if you like Kat more. Donate to me if you like me more.
If you want to donate to our whole group.
Yeah. There's totally donations to be made for our sponsorship of the rides. That's in our LinkedIn. I think you put it on Facebook. Both of us have done that. If you need a link, reach out to me, especially if you want mine. If you want Kat's, don't reach out. Just kidding, whatever. Anyways, we have Bike to the Bay coming up, and we're about to leave for like kind of one of those like we're not going to see the house much. That 4 days that we turned into being sick for 4 days is the 4 days. Like we fly out on Wednesday morning, and then we come back Sunday for a day, and then we fly out Tuesday morning to go to Calgary. So first it's to Vancouver, then to Calgary, and then or Green Bay in between those two.
And
then home for a couple days. And then we are at IT Nation Secure. Super excited about Secure. I think my session's already full, but I have a deep dive into CIS controls using like modern breaches. It's really fun. Kat's been there and helped me proctor that a couple times now. Yeah, not just once. That's for people who don't know. When I talk about my wife coming with me, it's not like I'm like, hey, can my spouse come and hang out in the pool? And no, like, you come to the things.
I do.
You help, volunteer, in general, put shopping carts back where they go, right? Like, I mean, just the shopping cart index of a human being in their value statement and proposition, right? You're like, can I help? I'd like to help. Anyways, so IT Nation, then straight from IT Nation to Jason's place, just to Slaggleville. And then we're going to go do our bike to the bay. It's a 50-mile bicycle ride, at least for us. It's a 50 and 50 if you wanted to do it, or 100 and 100 if you wanted to do it. But it's a 50-mile ride day on Saturday. And then we're going to fly to Beyond on Sunday, including Jason. Jason's coming with us to Beyond so that Jason can help run the Capture the Flag for the Microsoft Capture the Flag at Beyond. Awesome. And then I'm at Beyond all week. I'm doing something special on Thursday. I'm filming something I can't talk about. That's all I can talk about, right?
No, but we're also doing dinner. But that's another thing.
Who's that with?
Dom and his wife.
Oh, very good. Dinner at Casa Bonita. Yeah, very good. That's so fun. Oh, good. That's how things happen on my calendar. Yeah. So yes, I'm doing dinner with Dom.
We drive home,
which is going to be awesome.
No, we fly home.
And then we fly home. And then I start a vacation, get to hang out with Tom Lawrence and Cass and going to see them and get to ride.
Cass's husband, Tom.
Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, I meant Cass and Cass's husband, Tom. I apologize. I misstated that. We're going to ride motorcycles and bicycles and fun stuff. So
have a lot of fun.
Anyways, that's it. I guess I don't typically talk about the future in these things, but you know what? Kat's here. Kat rules the show. We got a lot coming up. And I guess my point is like we're not going to be free until about late June from this point forward. Other than washing clothes, and it gets so bad I even have to block off my calendar, so when I come home I actually have some time to do the things I've promised while on the road. Anyways, those including getting ready for boot camp, which is coming up in November already, and we have a whole new story to write, and just so many things as usual. All the things, so
including whatever we do at home, like fixing stuff or
not killing greenhouses. Yeah, I'll admit it here, y'all. For anybody that's tracking me on the personal stuff, like we murdered the hell out of some plants right now, bro. Like straight up murdered. It was bad. We have learned things. Yeah, we get. You know, I hadn't considered pests at that point, or natural protections against pests, even though I'm in a greenhouse. And so we traveled a bunch and came back, and then, there's some aphids. We'll deal with it. We'll treat them. Treated them. May have given Kat the wrong mixture of the treatment we gave and may have accidentally poisoned all plants, or almost all plants. So it looks like we get to start again from seeds. Yay. A lot of it. Some survive. We'll see if we can buy see. And we'll see if we can get something that's already pre-seeded at this point and ready for transplant. But short story is, now we have brought in, I know this might be controversial for some of y'all. There's a big fight on this online. We've brought in ladybugs from Amazon, not the Amazon specifically. We didn't actually ask for things from the Amazon, but we brought in ladybugs, and so we're letting the ladybugs loose in the greenhouse. They've eaten the aphids, and hopefully we'll eat them again if we have challenges in the future, if we can keep them around, whatever it may be. But I had written off this to just simply be in control of the control planes of temperature and humidity and amount of sun and ventilation and some of those concepts. Had not considered the pestilence aspect of that, I suppose.
We thought we were pretty safe.
I thought the box would protect. I'm such an idiot. Yeah. Stuff gets in. So the learnings continue on the greenhouse project. But other than that, I guess if you're watching this vlog 14, it is really the theme is, if you're sick, what do you end up doing? How do you power through and continue to not let people down, and ensure that you've met what you've kind of in your 1-to-1 say-do ratio, right? As Rob Reck loves to say for his definition of trust. How do you maintain that 1-to-1 say-do ratio? And if not, do you have those hard conversations first? And I am very bad about just having the hard conversations and not going. I have done it once this year, though. Remember one time I canceled an event. I wouldn't make it up.
I know you don't.
You remember which one it was? It was similar, but it wasn't where I was the speaker. I was just supposed to show up. I don't remember who it was, but I was pretty sick, and it was one. And so I do judge it based on like, is it going to really impact? Like in this case, I was the speaker. I was the one speaking. It was my speech. It was my thing I'd written. It was what I was going to present. In the other event, I was just showing up to be there to talk about certain things with other humans right around that. And I did bail. So I did one that I bailed out of because I was sick. Aren't you proud of me?
Yeah, ish.
Seems fake. All right. Appreciate you being here, Darren. If you're still hanging around, it's great seeing your beautiful face. And we'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.